out. This is liver detox. Just think of Lucy and Ethel. When you think of liver detox, I mean, everybody's seen this. It's just the best. And this is what happens in the liver. You know, those chocolates are coming along and they're getting processed, but wait, it's speeding up. There's more and more chocolates coming and they're not getting processed. That's liver detox. So I have just a little, hopefully you can see it on your handout, things that cleanse the liver. Of course, the cruciferous vegetables are all here, cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower, and of course, turmeric we could do a whole lecture on turmeric. It's just incredible. I want to show you also next on how to read codes. I talked about, you know, GMOs and pesticides, but when you go to the store, if you want to buy organic, there's going to be a 9 on the label. Now, if you want to buy conventionally grown, which are, you know, we try to buy organic, but sometimes we don't buy all organic. But then I look for conventionally grown next. I try to avoid the 8s because those are GMOs. Can't always, and you know if you go to a restaurant, that's what you're going to get. So at home, if you can do a better job, then that's a good thing. So anyway, hopefully if you can see that from I know it's tiny, but just 9 is good and 4 is pretty good. These are the dirty dozen. These are things that are heavily laden, skin-thinned fruits and vegetables that you want to try to buy organic. If you just buy organic, buy the dirty dozen organic. And that's the number 9, of course. The other thing I would add to this list is coffee. Coffee is highly laden with pesticides. Organic coffee is delicious. It sprouts, delicious. These things are the Clean 15. So if you can buy these conventionally grown, you're probably okay. Notice that sweet potatoes is on this picture, and white potatoes were on the other picture. White potatoes have a lot of arsenic to kill the potato bugs. So anyway, that's kind of interesting. Talked about glutathione. Glutathione is another thing if you want to go home, and if you're a nerd like me, Google glutathione. You'll find 76,000 scientific studies. I mean, medical, well-done studies. Glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. It's a critical piece of detoxification. When they measure glutathione levels in sick people, they're always low. When they measure glutathione in healthy people, they're always high. Now, about a third of the population don't process glutathione efficiently. They're missing a gene that they have just a gene SNP that doesn't process it, and you can get that tested to know if you need glutathione, extra glutathione, because you can also take it separately. But it's recycled by the body, and when your liver's working good, when phase 2 is working, when Lucy and Ethel are not stressed out, then glutathione is generated, and it recycles all the other antioxidants in your body. A lot of things deplete glutathione, and of course, a poor diet, duh. Toxins, duh. But even like medication, stress, aging, insomnia, infections, radiation, cell phones deplete glutathione. So just some ways to optimize it. That's all there for your benefit. One thing I would recommend is kyolic garlic. You can get that at Akin's, and that's just a really awesome thing. And we haven't gotten it yet, but I'm gonna test it on me to see if it causes like really bad breath. We'll see. So anyway, the next thing I want to just barely touch on are trans fats. You hear a lot about trans fats. Trans fats are basically just double trouble. They are fats that a hydrogen has been added. They're hydrogenated fats. This is shortening. But the thing they do is they raise the bad cholesterol and they lower the good cholesterol. So nowadays, this is a pretty easy thing to avoid. I mean, you have to wonder when you buy a Twinkie you have to wonder if it's good to eat if it doesn't go bad in like a year. I mean, if it's under your seat and you find it, it's still good, and that's not that good. In the United States, trans fats it doesn't have to be on the label if it's under 0.5 milligrams of trans fat. So, you know, if you eat 10 things that day with 0.5 milligrams, you don't think you've eaten any trans fat. So you have to read the labels pretty carefully, and there's a lot of movement to try to get those things labeled accurately too, so that people can know what they're eating. Just as an interesting anecdote, in my 30 years, I see people up close, and 2 women in particular had the most gorgeous skin. I mean, like, wow, it's velvet. And both of those, I said, what do you do for your skin? Both of those women put Crisco on their faces at night. Both of those women got Alzheimer's disease. That's a tiny Dr. Debbie study, and it might not be anything, but it's interesting because it's a hydrogenated fat that our bodies don't know what it is. So it takes guts to be healthy. If you've been in my office, you know I'm asking you about your bowel movements and everything else, because if your gut's not working right, if you can't absorb the food you're eating and eliminate what you don't need, it does not matter how many supplements you take, how much money you spend on organic food. You've got to make sure that that your digestive tract is healthy. And this is certainly the place to start with health. And of course, it's so awesome because the mouth's the first place for that digestion to start. I talked to a lot of people about probiotics, and this is another example of a pharmaceutical grade probiotic. The thing to look for in probiotics is, number one, it has to be either it has to be refrigerated to keep the bacteria alive so that it gets to your digestive system alive, or it has to be in a foil pouch that is nitrogen purged to keep the bacteria alive. So you have a lot of options, but when you buy a probiotic, you need to think about pharmaceutical grade for sure. You're wasting your money in any other form. I recommend probiotics for virtually everybody because of the antibiotics that we talked about earlier that are in the food, and that's just everybody that I know has benefited there. Well, then our next system of detoxification, of course, is the kidneys, and water is the #1 nutritional deficiency in the United States. There's just so many other options of things to drink. So I recommend drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water. And that's just if you're just drinking water. If you're also drinking coffee and tea and soda or anything else, then you've got to up your water. But try it for a week, and I guarantee you'll feel better in every single way. These are just some foods that are good for your kidneys. Of course, you know, garlic and onions are on there too, as well as just a lot of berries and red bell peppers. Again, think about that kyolic garlic. Vitamin C is also an excellent phase 2 detox ingredient. The thing about vitamin C, people ask me about vitamin C all the time, you need to take it through the day, which is a hassle because your body, it's a water-soluble vitamin, and your body will throw off anything that you don't use or need. So, you know, vitamin C helps detox heavy metals. It's a great chelator for lots of things, but you've got to make sure you space it out. Also, if you're trying to get off caffeine, it helps decrease headaches associated with getting off caffeine. So, we did our water bottle. The next detox system is the lungs, and I've learned to deep breathe. I'm learning to deep breathe. It's hard to deep breathe. I thought deep breathing was that. No, I was doing it all wrong, you know. And so deep breathing is when you feel your tummy go out when you breathe in and go in when you breathe out. And that's where a lot of the toxins are that you need to get out. So when I started deep breathing, I kind of got sore. I mean, that's kind of sad. But I do recommend deep breathing, that everybody intentionally deep breathe every day.